Welcome back to the Snap-on Tools Spring Nationals on a warm afternoon in Bristol, Tennessee. We are ready for Alcohol Funny Car semifinals, and our first matchup features the points leader, Todd Payton from Paris, Ontario, Canada, up against Terry Mullins from Atomic City, Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Well, Mullins running that new mountain motor option that IHRA allows, 542 cubic inches, and let's see if it can work for the #1 qualifier.
Mullins in the left lane with the advantage. Now here comes Payton. Payton takes it.
Incredible. Payton pulls it out with a 6:14, a great 4:46 reaction time over Terry Mullins losing 6:15.
You want to know how much action can happen in a drag race? Todd Payton came off the line behind Terry Mullins, drove around him to take the victory by just that much. Now there's a look at the ethanol performs machine of two-time world champion Mark Thomas from Louisville, Ohio. And there's his opponent, Gary Rattel from Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, Rattel going the big cubic inch route, 540. That's big for an alcohol motor. Thomas sticking with the traditional, tried, tested, and proven 526 cubic inch combination.
So Thomas is going to have to be a little bit slicker, wind it that much higher, be that much better off the start line.
Thomas is off first, Bob.
Thomas is out, but he smokes the tires and gives up about 2 car lengths to Rattel, but comes back.
Something happened to Rattel. The car went away. Thomas wins it with a not-so-respectable 6:41, but he'll take it any way he can get it, I assure you.
Absolutely. Smoke the tires on the launch pad. Here's Rattel's launch, straight and true, but look at the left lane. Mark Thomas almost gets sideways.
It appears as though Thomas has given the race to Rattel as he starts pulling away. Now, Thomas gets his composure, his traction together, and Rattel breaks and goes away.
So that'll make our alcohol funny car matchup, Todd Payton and Mark Thomas. But now we move on to semifinal action in Top Fuel. There is Jack Ostrander from Waterford, Michigan, with the appropriately named 300 Bowl. Jack does own a bowling alley. Over in the pits, here's Brett Kepner.
Well, here in the Top Fuel pits, it looks now like Doug Herbert maybe end up making a solo run in the semifinal, because here at Randy Meyer's pit area, this is what's left of the clutch that came apart during the run with Doug Foxworth in the first round. The fingers on the clutch came literally apart, disintegrating. The pilot bearing completely seized up. The discs destroyed, and Randy Meyer is here in the pits and has made the decision that you probably won't bother to go up for this particular round. You didn't have that many parts anyway.
Right, we are low on the clutch parts at this particular time with all the parts we've been using and stuff, and to have it, the parts that we need to run against Doug, we're just probably not going to make it in time to get up there and run with him.
So Doug Herbert will get a bye run, and that's a big break for him as he tries to make up ground on Doug Foxworth, the points leader, who is now out of this competition. But right now, there is Richard Langson, and he will face Jack Ostrander in this semifinal matchup. Great launch for Langford, straight and true, bounces the front end a little bit, leaving rubber all the way down the strip.
Ostrander pulls the victory out with a 5:23, 264 miles per hour. Actually was a little slow off the starting line. Look at it one more time. You see him break loose a little bit of tire smoke as he carried the front wheels. Now, it's side by side at the 8-mile mark. You can see Ostrander pull out in front and take a decisive victory.
And that's why the clutch is so important. As you watch the reaction from Jack Ostrander's crew, Randy Meyer didn't have the clutch he needs to bring 5,000 horsepower to the racetrack against Doug Herbert, so he's decided not even to try. There is Doug Herbert with the help of our onboard cameras. Let's get a look at what it's like to launch yourself down the quarter mile, 5,000 horsepower at your back.
Well, we're going to go inside the cockpit now, and with a special camera, let you take a look at Doug Herbert making his final adjustments. He'll pull the face mask down as he finally stages the car, move a few other things, a high-speed bypass, make sure it's in first gear, and what have you, as he gets ready to leave the line. Now, our Tostios Kumani in-car cam, you're going for a ride at nearly 290 miles per hour. Yes, sir. 517, 278. He didn't let up a bit, Bob, on that signal.
Arrow straight and true. Doug Herbert with a bye into the Top Fuel final, where he will meet wily old Jack Ostrander. The crowd has taken a timeout for a little snack. Why don't we do the same and meet you in a couple of minutes for our finals. Snap-on Tools Spring Nationals, round number 3 of 12 on the IHRA Scotchgard Automotive Protectors 3M National Championship Series. Our first final will be in alcohol funny cars. There is Todd Payton from Paris, Ontario, Canada. A large number of great alcohol racers from Canada for some reason. Payton's going to have to go away to beat Mark Thomas, the two-time world champion from Louisville, Ohio.
Well, this will be Payton's 6th final round career appearance in IHRA competition, so he's been there too, although Mark Thomas has been there many, many more times, and you can bet the old pro has got it dialed in.
10 years of experience Mark Thomas has on Todd Payton, just 23 years of age. He is the points leader coming in. We'll see if that changes now. Some tire haze off of the car of Mark Thomas, and Payton takes it.
Payton has upset the reigning world champion Mark Thomas with a 6.22, 227 miles per hour, and Thomas beat him off the starting line, but his car didn't ET, Bob.
Didn't run the number. Mark Thomas with all kinds of problems in the left lane, but Todd Payton runs it straight and true. Take that, world champ.
Points-wise, you're looking real good now.
That's what we're looking to do. I mean, Mark's all well and good and all that, but we got a 4. We want to make that a 1. I mean, that's what we want to do since the beginning of the year. Get in here.
Nice going, man.
Actually, I think he was just happy to get to a final.
I tell you what, I'm happy to be here. Of course, we'd like to win. If anybody besides me, it'd be Todd for a while. But he deserves it.
When's this run out? When's this run out? Empire, right?
I hope. Next time.
Okay.
Well, if it happens, we'll be at the Empire Nationals to bring it to you. We move on now to Pro Stock. There is Ricky Smith. In addition to his 5 world championships, 29 victories, the winningest driver in IHRA history, up against Doug Kirk.
What can I say? Tricky Ricky is back, and when he's on a roll, he is hot. It seems like he can do nothing wrong. Now, Kirk is qualified number 1. He's got lane choice. He put Ricky over in that far lane, and that was the lane that just ran well.
Doug Kirk with 8 career victories, his 3rd final round appearance of the year, looking for his 3rd straight victory. Ricky left him off the line.
Tricky Ricky's on a roll. Yes, Tricky Ricky is back. 7-11, 196 miles per hour. Kirk with a 7.15, and Ricky put a gate job on him. A 5.02 to Ricky's quicker, 4.79.
Now we're on board with the Tostiasti Spumani in-car camera in Doug Kirk's car, actually mounted on his helmet over in the other lane. You see Ricky driving away.
And that's what the driver sees and the disappointment he feels.
Proves once again why he's the winningest pro driver in IHRA history. 7.11 to a 7.15. You left him on the line.
Brett, we needed it. You don't know how bad we needed it. Southland, fire exchanger, Pontiac. Man, I mean, it's been a hard year, and I really need the thing, and I appreciate it. Doug's been on a roll, and I didn't know whether I could stop him or not. You know, when I was doing good, boy, it just, seemed like everything went my way, and I was afraid that Doug was in that same situation, so, hey, I won it. I'm tickled.
Tickled for the 30th time as Tricky Ricky continues his march. Meanwhile, Doug Kirk's streak is at an end. Let's see if Scotty Cannon can keep his alive now in the finals of Pro Mod. Cannon in that blown Chevy ZR1 Corvette. His opponent, Steve Johnson, in a normally aspirated but nitrous boosted 706 cubic inch Chevy Corvette.
Johnson qualified number 10, Cannon number 1. Cannon's the favorite, obviously.
But Cannon is left off the starting line by 1/10 of a second, and he drives around.
Scotty Cannon, his 12th career victory, 671, 205 miles per hour. This was oh so close with that big hole shot by Steve Johnson. He's out on top of Cannon down to the 8th mile mark. Now, watch Cannon make the move with the big blown car and pull out the victory.
What are you going to attribute the victory to this time? This time it's the Cinderella story of the brand new car that's never been run.
I was sitting back there, and you never plan your story right before you get up there because you always mess it up, right? So I'm back there and saying, well, if I do happen to win, what am I going to do? Who am I going to thank? What am I going to say? Well, I don't know. I mean,
well, that's good. It's good you came up with that.
Well, like, we got, 10 guys, man. All my friends helped me at home. I mean, golly, we got on-set and all these guys to help us, and we had a rough weekend, burnt 6 pistons, broke 1 rear and a tranny and stuff, over the weekend period of time. But, man, those guys, this bad boy here would not be here if it wasn't for all those friends of mine.
Wow, can you tell that Scotty Cannon talks as fast as he drives? Let's move on now to Top Fuel. Always on the edge. Sportswear top fueler of Doug Herbert. 5 victories and 8 finals coming in. There's his opponent, Jack Ostrander.
Well, we're looking at the old pro versus the young upstart. Doug Herbert on top of the world right now, but Jack has a lot of gray hair. He hasn't had an IHRA win since 1987 when he had 2 IHRA national events, so he's due.
Pontiac Jack pulls in against Doug Herbert. It's been an eventful weekend in Top Fuel, to say the least. Herbert is staged. They are away. Herbert looking good off the launch pad. He's driving away from him.
Not even a close race. Herbert with a 5.11, 278 mile/hour to pick up his 6th career victory. Let's go inside the car with Doug Herbert. The Tostias Fumani in-car camp. He drives away from Ostrander, who has never in it, beats him off the starting line, and ET'd him.
We talked about it throughout the event that in the 29-year history of the Spring Nationals, no Top Fuel driver had ever won this event back-to-back. That's history now.
I don't know what to say. It's great. You know, Jack is a tough guy. He's probably one of the toughest racers that there is out here. And, you know, it's an honor to beat him. And I just can't say enough. My shop, all the guys in my shop do a great job. And Herbert Performance Parts and Always on the Edge and Jim Brissett and all the guys, my mother-in-law and my wife. I just can't say enough. Everybody really helps me out a lot, and I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for all them.
And he's not kidding, folks. The entire Herbert family is steeped in the history of drag racing. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Crowd is filing out of Thunder Valley following the Snap-on Tools Spring Nationals. Ted, how about a look at the point standings?
Well, in Pro Modified, Scotty Cannon has a commanding lead, but look, 200 mile/hour Bill Kuhlman is in 2nd place and threatening. In Pro Stock, Doug Kirk with the big lead. Tricky Ricky has moved in, though, to number 5 with that victory today. In Alcohol Funny Car, Mark Thomas down to number 4 as Todd Patton threatens. And in Top Fuel, Richard Langston and Doug Foxworth are locked for 1st place. Doug Herbert moved into 3rd place with his victory here today at Bristol.
Jack Ostrander's runner-up finish has him in 4th place, and watch out for Bruce Larson. He too will challenge before the season is out. Our next stop will be the Empire Nationals from upstate New York, July 10th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll give you a look at the rest of our Snap-on Tools national event schedule. We hope you'll be with us for every stop on the 12-event 3M Scotchgard Automotive Protectors IHRA National Event Season. Our ESPN Speed World coverage of the Snap-on Tools Spring Nationals has been brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Quaker State, the Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by BF Goodrich TA Tires, when you're ready to get serious. To subscribe to Drag Review Newspaper, call 1-800-554-9000. I'm Bob Varsha for Ted Jones and Brett Kepner. So long, everyone.